West side. Just a little housekeeping. At this time, would you please check your cell phones and turn them off or on vibrate, just to make sure we can keep the silence from those. And you know how they like to make sounds. And let us know that they are here. All right. And so while you're doing that, prepare yourself and join in as we sing our opening song, I Am Light. It's our joy song, I Am Light. And the screens are up front on the monitor.
I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. Just breathe. Just breathe.
So welcome to Unity of the West Side. I'm glad you're here today. And today we're blessed with Elise Carver. We are blessed with our own Robin Owens, who's going to be here doing a talk next month. We are blessed with Teresa Yuan in the back. We are blessed with a greeter in Jeanette. We are just overfilled with blessings. So, and our board president, Jane Leonard, is here. So, and Carol Ann is our chaplain. I could go on. This is like a whole village. You know, I love this. I love this. So I'm going to light the Christ candle. And when I light the Christ candle, what I'm saying when I light it is the Christ in me holds the Christ in me. And I know we sing that at Namaste time, but it's a time that we allow Christ in. We allow that Christ presence in. Not just to this sanctuary, but into our hearts. So I'm going to light the Christ candle right now. My talk today is the transformation of Lent. So I know Lent is coming up, so is Valentine's Day, thus the shirt. But Lent is coming up this week. It starts on Wednesday. And I'm going to talk about the transformation that Lent can be. And I hope you like it today. So, welcome. Thank you for coming.
All right, now we'll bring up our speaker for today, Reverend Karol, and she will do a meditation with us. And then it will be followed by her talk, The Transformation of Life.
Thank you, Robin Owens.
You're welcome. I'm gonna go this way so I don't.
Go for it.
Knock over the other stuff over there.
Go.
Which I'm prone to do.
Yeah, that's a big step down.
Yeah.
That is a big step down. Good morning, everyone. What a blessing to be here today, huh? On this beautiful day in beautiful Culver City, California. I love it after it rains out here because the air is so clean. We're going to do a meditation. Will you back me in this meditation? We're going to do, I used to be a Catholic. And so I pay attention to kind of what's going on in Catholicism. And I love this new Pope. I know he's not new. He's been here a couple years now. But I still call him the new Pope. I renew him every day. And the Pope actually did a little talk about if you want to fast this Lent. So I invite you to put your feet down on the ground, get grounded with Aki, with Mother Earth. As my Ojibwe, we call it Aki. And we get grounded and we relax. We let the day go by that happened before we came here. And Elise is going to start to play soft. And I'm going to come in with the words of Pope Francis. So just take these in as we do a meditation. Follow your breath in and out. Each breath gently coming in and gently going out. We breathe in, God is, and we breathe out, I am. During this Lent season, do you want to fast? Fast from hurting words and say kind words. Fast from sadness and be filled with gratitude. Take that in. trust in God. Fast from complaints and contemplate simplicity. Fast from pressures and be prayerful. Fast from bitterness and fill your heart with joy. Fast from selfishness and be compassionate to others. Fast from grudges and be reconciled. Fast from words and be silent so you may listen. As we come back to the here and to the now, we come back with a sense of what we need to fast from. Could have been on the list, could have been something different. Spirit knows. Trust your spirit. And when you feel ready, gently open your eyes. So let me just say, first of all, I could meditate with Elise until her fingers fell off. I'm just saying, it might just be me. Good morning, Unity of the West Side. I'm your favorite minister, Reverend Karol. I used to do that with my mom. I used to say, I'm your favorite daughter, or I'd say, you're my favorite mom, and she'd say, I'm your only mom. So Saturday was National Random Acts of Kindness Day. Did you know that was a thing?
No.
So I do random acts of kindness a lot during the year. Who knew you had to contain it to one day? But this is the thing, and a lot of the Unity churches were doing this. I found out like yesterday.
It's also Chinese New Year.
And it's also Chinese New Year, that's right.
That's right.
And it's the year of the dragon. And I think dragons and pigs get along, because I'm a pig. You're a dragon? So it's your year. Oh, isn't that powerful for a dragon to be in a dragon year? I don't know anything about it, but I think so. Okay, so I do random acts of kindness a lot during the year. And when things aren't going my way, or at least I feel that way, I change the energy by going through the drive-through line at McDonald's. I get a Diet Coke. That's right, I wait in the drive-through line for a Diet Coke. Because I gotta tell you, the McDonald's food, I loved it when I was younger. Now it just sits in my belly. But I get my Diet Coke, and we're gonna discuss my Diet Coke thing in a little bit. Can you do a slide? On my talk, I put a little Diet Coke thing up there. Other way. There you go. Oh, there's the Pope. I love that picture. So we're going to talk about my whole Diet Coke thing, but I also buy lunch for whoever's behind me. When I pull up to the window, I pay for my Diet Coke, and he goes, "Just a Diet Coke?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just a Diet Coke." And I want to pay for that guy's food too. And it always takes him a minute to figure out what car that is, and I try to get away before they can discern what's happening. Sometimes I have to wave if they have found out. But something happens within me. My energy changes from everyone and everything might just be against me or bad vibes to everything and everyone, including that guy back there, is with me. And I change my bad vibes from good vibes just like that. It's so easy. Everything is good then, and it just changed where I operate from. What's going on is that I'm actually realigning with God's source, and I'm changing how I'm thinking. I usually, before I get to the drive-through line, have forgotten God. And at this point, I just need a little alignment. Now this can be done in many ways. It can be done at Pollo Loco. It can be done at Burger King. They both have Diet Coke. The point is to come out of yourself. Remember God. And then do some little kindness for someone unknown to you. And try to get away before they realize it. Next year, I hope this day comes into my awareness a little bit sooner so that we can all do random acts of kindness, and then we can spend that whole Sunday telling what we did. Not for bragging rights or who did better, but how we were expressing God to our brothers and sisters. Today I'm going to talk about Lent and the Lenten season, which happens to begin on Wednesday, Ash Wednesday, and ends at the Easter celebration. In unity and in many other faiths, this is a period of prayer and fasting and repentance. And by repentance, I don't mean, I'm so sorry, I'm such a horrible, I don't mean that. I mean denying the things that have power over you. That's what I mean by repentance. Denying the things that seem to have power over you. The word Lent comes from the Anglo-Saxon word for spring, which is from a verb meaning to lengthen. For me, it's a time of preparing physically and spiritually for a rebirth of the Christ consciousness, that I am within me. It happens at Easter. You see, I love the birth of the Christ that happens to me at Christmas time. We all talk about that. It's really about the birth of Christ in us. But by mid-February, I kind of need a booster shot, you know? When we can align our mind with God mind, the way I open for Lent can and will glorify us and lift us higher and be in a more spiritual state of being in the world. My old consciousness is resurrected to something higher as I move through the Lent season. And at Easter, I experience a different spiritual state of being. a different shift within me. From Jeremiah 29:12, when you call me and come to pray to me, I will listen to you. A lot of people think that Lent commemorates Jesus' 40 days before the resurrection and the joyous celebration of Easter. But Lent is a church institution. It's never mentioned in the Bible. Jesus never said that you need to fast or no meat on Friday. He was not that kind of a guy to tell you what to do in his name. However, the idea of Lent is spiritually sound. And I borrowed these facts from our friend, Reverend Thomas DeShooter. Remember Thomas? Came and did a class here, and did a Sunday here, right? I borrowed these from him. 40 is mentioned 146 times in Scripture. The number 40 generally symbolizes a period of testing, trial, or probation. It's a very special number in numerology. There's often associated with change and new beginnings and fresh starts. 40 is the only number in English whose letters appear in alphabetical order. Now, I actually went through it in my head when I read that. When he gave a talk, and I took these from his talk, and I went, that's true, F-O-R-T-Y. It's all in alphabetical order. And this is somebody in Canada might know. Minus 40 or 40 below is the only temperature that is the same in both Fahrenheit and Celsius. Yeah. When the bubonic plague gripped Europe during the Middle Ages, ships would be isolated in the harbor for 40 days before passengers could go ashore. The Italian word for 40 is quarantana, hence the term quarantine, right? Did I get it right, Caroline? Quaranta? Okay. I usually do the Ojibwe language so I could get it right, but I didn't do the Italian. I just had it in me. There are 40 spaces on a standard Monopoly board, proving that life is a gamble. The game gives players equal odds, 1 in 50, of going directly to jail or winning the free parking lottery. 40 weeks is actually the typical time for a full-term pregnancy. It took chemists 40 attempts to develop the magical spray that we've come to know as WD-40, and the full name is Water Displacement 40th Formula. So good, right? In literature, 40 is the number of thieves that Ali Baba clashes with in Arabian Nights. And 40 is also the number of winks that Dr. William Kitchener suggests taking for a perfect nap. And if you need more evidence that 40 sounds like a lot, please see the standard American work week, which is 40 hours. In Scripture, the flood lasted 40 days and 40 nights, and we just did 4 days of flood, and that was hard. Moses, Elijah, and Jesus each observed a 40-day period of prayer and fasting in preparation for spiritual work and spiritual growth. Moses received the 10 Commandments at Mount Sinai at the conclusion of his fast. Elijah talked with God on the Mount of Horeb at the conclusion of his prayer and fasting. Jesus began his great spiritual mystery at the close of his fast in the wilderness. 40 used in scriptures represents a completed preparation of something to follow. My own experience with 40 is one of my original Unity classes, the Prosperity class, in which case we had to commit to 40 consecutive days of creating prosperity in our lives through prayer, meditation, and journaling. It's not as easy as you think. It's a time of retreat from the world for the cleansing of the mind and a recollection of all things spirit. Now, some people make a craze of Lent. They give up luxuries. I'm one of those people. Growing up in the Catholic Church, this was encouraged, and now for me, it's just an exercise of mental strength and observance. What do you think I give up? Those of you who know me, yes. For the past 10 plus years, I give up Diet Coke. Now for me, it's both a physical exercise as well as a mental one. For your information, I might just be addicted to Diet Coke. So each year, I struggle through the headaches and the sugar cravings and the icky feeling, and I give it up. And as I do it, my mind gets stronger. And every year at Easter dinner, I have a long-awaited Diet Coke. It takes mental discipline, and that's always a good exercise over my mind and over my body. Now, fasting should be between a man and his maker, just as prayer should be between a woman and her maker. But I wanted to share with you my plan. I keep saying to anyone who will listen, I'll be strong enough to not go back to it this year, maybe this year. My friend, Diet Coke. So bad for me, and yet so much milder than some of my other former vices. And by that I mean tequila. Maybe this year, huh? Now, Diet Coke is not the only thing I fast from. There are so many things. Letting go is another name for fasting from. And picture yourself letting go anger, letting go anxiety, letting go apathy, letting go bitterness. These are in alphabetical order. How do you let these things go? Well, I tell you, my friend, that is a process. Letting go of blame, letting go of business, letting go of chaos. Even though I have a lot less chaos than I did in my 30s. I don't know about you people who are beyond 30, but it gets better, less chaos. Letting go of competitiveness, letting go of complaining. This one's harder than it seems. Letting go of criticism, of self and others. The things we let go of do not serve our highest and best. And as you let go or release, you may feel some resistance, some physical, some emotional, and some spiritual. But we can let go of darkness. We can let go of disconnect, discouragement, doubt, doubting ourselves, as well as doubting our fellow human beings. Drama. Again, as you get older, the need for it and your attachment to it wanes. It wanes a lot. How about letting go of the fear of being alone? There's a process for you to detach from these things. And you know the good news? Each person gets to determine their process. I could tell you what to do, but I'm not that kind of minister. And anyway, your soul knows way better than I do on how you can let go of what you need to. We can let go of change, fear of illness, fear of lack, fear of indecision. There's a long period in my life when I had to tell myself that no decision was in fact a decision. Have you ever been there? Let go of insecurity, let go of judgment. Remember, in Unity, we use denials and affirmative prayers, and you are denying the power that something has over you. So we let go of limitation. We let go of negative thinking. We let go of obligation. This one's huge. Outdated beliefs. We let go of overwhelm. We let go of the past and the past stories. Those stories that we tell ourselves over and over again that keep us the victim of the story. Someone else is always the villain. And as we let go of our stories, we let go of our past. I always say, don't look back. I'm not going there, and you're not going there. Surrender is what's needed, and it's a process. We let go of perfectionism. Just me or anybody else? Pessimism, resentment, resistance of any kind. We remember, not my will, but thy will. Take that in a second. We let go of self-pity, even though self-pity feels so darn good sometimes. You are not pitiful, loved ones. You are an adult child of the God Most High, the universal source of all good. That is who you be. We let go of our shame, even if we know we have reasons for it. And we wear our shame like an invisibility cloak that keeps everybody at bay. When you practice letting go of shame, you return power to the rightful owner, to you, to God. We are preparing the way. We let go of our sorrow. My sorrow once served a purpose to get me through something, but now I'm through it and I let go of it. We let go of stress. We let go of struggle. When we let go of all these things, and I have more on my list, I'm just telling you, yours might not even be on this list. My Palm Sunday talk will help us prepare the way, and I'm excited. Guess what dream I had a few nights ago? Yep, Jesus and I are going up the mountain again. This was a dream from last year when I dreamt my Sermon on the Mount talk. It was months of dreaming of Jesus and I walking the mountain together. He still looks really good. But the dream this time was really brief. And I told him that Easter was early this year, so we gotta get moving. Last year, this reoccurring dream happened until we reached my talk on Palm Sunday. And my talk was on the Sermon on the Mount. I'm gonna do the same thing this year. I'm wondering, like in my dream, if Jane's gonna be there again with us this year. Because she was with us in my dream, like halfway up the mountain, Jane was there. St. Michael might make an appearance too, because he was there in my dream last year. And I get so excited to go to sleep and dream these divine dreams. My dream work friends might just remember this from last year. On the Thursday before Easter, we're going to enter into a prayer time, and it's called Maundy Thursday. And this is a time we go within, and we go to the upper room within, and we make our prayer there. On Good Friday, we know that Jesus was crucified for who he was, what he taught, and we know that his crucifixion was not the end of the story. With God, there's never an end. We'll celebrate Holy Saturday, which means that Lent is coming to an end, as is my fast from Diet Coke. And the next day is Easter Sunday. Unity students, you are invited to participate in Lent with all of Unity. So we were supposed to give you something today, but it did not come. But it will be here on Friday. So it looks like this. And if you want to stop by on Friday, we're hoping it's going to be here. Call the church first, because I don't know where our Lent books are. We did order them this year, but these are 40 days of Lent that you can follow. So as soon as we have them in, we'll put it on our blast, and these will help you get through Lent. But this is why we're here, not for that hospitality at the end of our service. Also, I saw great food back there. God loves our fellowship, but we're here to spiritually grow, and I invite you to join with me in this Lenten season. There's also a book in the lending library of which we have many copies. It's called Keep a True Lent, and it was written by our co-founder, Charles Fillmore. Now, when we were in COVID, we did a Keep a True Lent class, and we've done it for many years, and then I kind of decided this year, yeah, we're not gonna do it this year. We'll pick it up again next year, and we'll do a Keep a True Lent next year. But for this year, I think if you got that book It introduces the 12 powers. It will give you a good idea of Lent. Join me in strengthening our spiritual foundation. I'm hoping that you feel the energy of the season, and I hope that it uplifts and challenges and makes you use your divine mind. I hope it causes you to let go of some outdated beliefs, some outdated habit, and replace it with the truth that will shift you so that on Easter we can rejoice together. Namaste. Thank you for letting me talk today.
That was beautiful, Reverend Carol. Thank you. Let us thank her again. All right, now we have our special song, which is Blessed We Are. Blessed we are. And join us in singing it. Blessed we are.
Blessed we are to dance on this ground, the rhythm of Savior.